The story of the Isdal Woman is a really strange one. It's a puzzle with so many pieces missing, and it leaves you feeling unsettled. One of the most talked about parts of her case is a weird drawing. It was found in her luggage, in a notebook. People call it the coded clue, and it really looks like a code. But no one has truly figured out what it means. It just sits there, a silent drawing, holding secrets we can't quite get to. When the police found the woman's body, things got confusing fast. She was in a remote valley called Isdal near Bergen, Norway. Her body was partly burned, her clothes had all their labels cut off, she had no ID. It was clear someone wanted to hide who she was, or maybe she wanted to hide it herself. Later, they found her luggage. It was at a train station locker in Bergen. Inside, they found even more strange things. Wigs, different sets of clothes, many passports, and notebooks. These notebooks had coded messages. But the drawing, that's what really caught people's eye. The drawing was on a page in one of her notebooks. It was simple, almost childlike. It looked like something a kid might draw. But that was part of its mystery. Why would a sophisticated woman who used multiple identities and traveled a lot have such a drawing? And why in a notebook full of other coded notes? Let's try to describe it. Picture a single page. It's got a few stick figures. One looks like a man, maybe. Another like a woman. Maybe a third. Smaller one, like a child. They're not very detailed, just basic shapes for bodies and heads. Then there are some geometric shapes. Circles, squares, triangles. These shapes aren't drawn perfectly. They look a bit rough. Lines connect some of these shapes. Some lines are straight. Others are a bit squiggly. Then there are numbers. You see numbers scattered around the page. They are often two-digit numbers, like 12 or 14, sometimes a single digit. And there are letters too. Single letters, or short groups of letters. They don't seem to spell out words we know. The whole thing looks messy, but it also looks deliberate. It's not just random scribble. It has a structure, even if we don't understand it. When the police first saw it, they must have wondered. Was it just a doodle? Did it belong to someone else? Maybe a child she knew? But it was in her private things, and it was with other coded notes. That made them think it was important. It made them, think it was a clue. A very hard clue. The idea that it's a coded clue really comes from the rest of her case. The Isdal Woman was living a secret life. She used at least 8 different passports, all with different names, all fake. She spoke different languages. She stayed in many hotels, always paying in cash. She changed her appearance often. She was good at disappearing. This whole setup screams spy or secret agent. So, a coded drawing would fit right in with that kind of life. People who live secret lives use secret ways to communicate. Her other coded notes were easier to understand. They were lists of dates and places. Often, the first letter of a city name was followed by a date, like B14 for Bergen, April 14th. Police used these notes to track her movements. They found out she traveled all over Norway and Europe. These notes showed she was careful, she tracked her own movements, or she was tracking something else. The drawing felt like another layer of the secret tracking, so if it's a code, what could it mean? This is where the guessing starts. Many people have tried to figure it out. And there are many ideas. No one has found the key yet. One idea is that it's a kind of map. A simple map. The shapes could be places, like countries or cities, or maybe even specific buildings. The lines could be travel routes, or paths between these places. The numbers could be distances, or travel times, or dates of visits. Imagine the circle is Oslo, and the square is Trondheim. The line connects them. And next to the line, the number 3 for 3 days of travel. Or 200 for 200 kilometers. This would make sense for someone who traveled so much. She was constantly on the move. Knowing where to go and how to get there would be vital. And the stick figures. They could be people. People she met in these places. Or people she was supposed to meet. The man could be a handler. The woman could be another agent. The child figure, that's harder. Maybe it means a family member she left behind. Or maybe it's just a symbol for an innocent meeting. Or it could be a warning, like, watch out for children at a certain spot. If she was a spy, knowing her contacts and their locations would be very important. This drawing could be her way of keeping track of her network, a network that was hidden from the world. Another idea is that the drawing is about people and their relationships. The stick figures are clearly people. The shapes could be groups or organizations. The lines could show who is connected to whom, who works with whom, or who is related. The numbers could be ages of people. Or maybe code names, or even partial phone numbers. If she was building a network or part of one, she would need to keep track of everyone. A visual representation like this could be a quick way to remember complex connections. It would be hard for someone else to understand without a key, but it could make perfect sense to her. What if the numbers are dates? Not just travel dates, but dates of events, important meetings, deadlines. The Isdal Woman's other notes used dates a lot, so it makes sense she would use them here too. The shapes could be events that happened on those dates. A circle for a meeting, a square for an information drop, a triangle for a surveillance operation. The lines could show the sequence of these events. A timeline drawn in secret. This would be a very useful tool for someone on a mission. It would help her keep track of her schedule and make sure she didn't miss anything important. Some people think it could be about money, the numbers as amounts of money. The shapes as banks or places where money was hidden, or where transactions took place. She paid for everything in cash. This meant she had access to a lot of money. But where did it come from? And how did she manage it? The drawing could be her personal ledger, a way to track her finances without anyone else knowing. The lines could show transfers of money, or payments made. It's not as exciting as a spy map, maybe, but for a secret agent, money management is critical. There's also the dead drop, or meeting point theory. Imagine the drawing as a simplified map, a map to a very specific spot, a spot where she was meant to leave something, or pick something up, or meet someone. The shapes could mark landmarks, a big tree, a specific rock, a bench. The numbers could be coordinates, or a street number, or a time for the meeting. Meet at the circle, near the number 14, at 3 o'clock. This kind of coded instruction would be perfect for spy work. It's subtle, and it's easily destroyed if needed. The Cold War was on at that time. The early 1970s, Norway was a frontline country, had a long border with the Soviet Union, and it was a NATO member. This made it a place where spies from both sides would operate. The Isdal Woman's travels, her many identities, her methods, they all fit the profile of an intelligence agent. In this world, coded drawings would not be out of place. They would be common. They would be essential. The fact that it looks like a child's drawing is also important. It could be a disguise. Who would suspect a child's doodle of holding vital intelligence? If someone searched her bag, they might just dismiss it. Oh, just a silly drawing. But only she would know its true meaning. This would be a clever way to hide in plain sight. The problem is we don't have a key. Imagine trying to read a book in a language you don't know. Without a dictionary, you can guess, but you won't get it right. That's what it's like with this drawing. There's no cipher key, no other matching drawing found, no explanation written down. So every interpretation is just a guess. A good guess, maybe, a logical guess, but still a guess. And it could be incomplete. Maybe it was just a draft, or part of a larger system. Maybe she only needed to draw a few elements to trigger a memory, or maybe it was just a personal reminder, not meant for anyone else to decipher. This makes it even harder. It's like finding one page from a very long novel. Has anyone actually tried to break this code? Yes, the police did. And later, many amateur sleuths and even professional intelligence analysts have looked at it. They've tried different things, they've looked for patterns, they've compared it to known simple ciphers. They've tried to link the numbers and letters to her travel dates or locations. They've tried to match the shapes to geographic features, but nothing has worked in a way that truly makes sense. Nothing has cracked it wide open. This is why the drawing is so frustrating. It feels like it holds the answer. It's a tangible piece of the mystery, it's right there, on paper, but its meaning is locked away. It stares back at us, daring us to understand it. And we can't. This drawing represents the whole Isdal Woman case. So many clues, so many strange details, but no clear resolution, no name for the woman, no reason for her death. The drawing just confirms what we already suspect about her. She was a person living a very complex, very secret life. A life that required her to keep information hidden, not just from others, but maybe even from herself, through a system of codes. A system that protected her identity and her mission. But now, it only protects her secrets from us. It makes you wonder about the last moments of her life. Did she look at this drawing? Did she think about its meaning? Was it part of a plan that went wrong? Or a plan she couldn't finish? It feels like a roadmap to her past, or a plan for her future, a future she never got to have. Every time you look at the drawing, you see new things. You notice a small mark here, a specific line there. You try to imagine her drawing it. Was she sitting in a hotel room? In a cafe? Was she worried? Calm? Was she making plans? Or recalling memories? We can only guess. The numbers are often 2 digits. Could they be coordinates? Latitude and longitude are usually much longer, but maybe they're just parts of coordinates. Or a simplified system for an area she knew well, like a grid on a local map. The letters could be initials of people, or categories, or short descriptions. A P for a package, a D for drop. And the geometric shapes. Why those shapes? Are they just simple ways to represent something, or do they have a deeper meaning? In some secret societies, shapes have very specific meanings. But we have no evidence she was part of anything like that. So it's more likely they are just placeholders, simple symbols for complex ideas. Like a circle for safe house, a square for target. The lines connecting things are also interesting. They show relationships, or movement, or a sequence, a cause and effect. If the circle is a person, and the square is a place, a line connecting them could mean this person is at this place, or this person goes to this place. It's all about context. And we have no context. We have a drawing, and a dead woman, and a lot of questions. The police did everything they could. They interviewed witnesses, they checked hotel registries, they traced her movements, they analyzed the coded notes. But the drawing remained a blank, a mystery within a mystery. It never gave up its secrets. Not even now, decades later. Think about the skill involved. To create a code that looks like nothing. To hide important information in plain sight. For that takes a certain kind of mind. A mind that is careful, organized, and very secretive. The Isdal Woman clearly had such a mind. This drawing is a testament to that. It shows her ability to keep her true identity and her true purpose hidden. Even after her death. Maybe it's a key to a larger system, perhaps she had other coded drawings, or other objects that would help explain this one. But if she did, they were never found, or they were destroyed, or maybe they are still out there waiting to be discovered. If they exist, they would be incredibly important. They might finally break the silence of the Isdal Woman. The crude nature of the drawing is also a point. It's not finely drawn, it's not a work of art. It's functional, it's practical, it was meant to convey information quickly and simply. To her, it was probably perfectly clear. To us, it's a jumble. A frustrating mess of lines, shapes, numbers, and letters. And consider the pressure she must have been under. If she was a spy, her life was always at risk. Every piece of information was vital. Every mistake could be deadly. This drawing, crude as it is, might have been a way for her to manage that pressure. To keep her mission organized, to make sure she didn't forget anything important. The Isdal Woman's story is full of these small, tantalizing clues, things that hint at a larger, darker story. But they never give the full picture. The drawing is perhaps the best example of this. It's a whisper from her past, a cryptic message from a life lived in shadows, and it reminds us that some secrets are very good at staying secret. It's hard to imagine what kind of information would be important enough to encode in such a strange way. Something critical, for sure. Her escape route? The location of a hidden document. The names of people who betrayed her, or people she trusted. The possibilities are endless. And each one just deepens the mystery. So, what does the strange drawing from the Isdal Woman's luggage mean? The honest answer is we don't know. It's a coded message without a key. It's a puzzle with no solution found yet. But what it does mean, for sure, is that the Isdal Woman was a woman of secrets. Deep secrets. And this drawing is a stark reminder of her hidden life. It's a physical piece of her enigma. And it continues to fascinate because it's a direct link to her, frozen in time, still waiting for someone to finally understand what she was trying to say.